Time, but the Chicago Nuggets, this one going into double overtime in the preseason. The Chicago Bulls win 133 to 124. Some things to take away from this game, specifically with the core three playing more in this game. We're going to talk about it. The brand of defense was really good as well. We're going to break it all down and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
You know, every once in a while you come in, you think you're just gonna watch a game, do a little live stream afterwards, and keep it moving about your evening. Well, the Bulls said, "Hey, we don't care that it's preseason. We about to make it interesting." And double overtime game today against the Denver Nuggets. The young guys get a lot of minutes in this game. We're going to talk about them a little bit as well, because I think this was a really much better game for Julian Phillips overall on both sides of the ball. And I'll tell you what, like I said before, I would not be surprised to see Julian Phillips, get some games here and there, right, where he cracks that rotation. But overall, as far as the core players, the 10-man rotation that we're kind of expecting to see in the regular season, they performed really good, especially defensively in this game. The game was tied at halftime, went into the third quarter with still Zach, Vooch, and DeMar playing in that third quarter a little bit. But, we really built the lead. Ayo Dosunmu giving tons of energy in that third quarter, getting a bunch of offensive rebounds in that game. And so overall, I'm really last game it was the offense. In this game, still the offense definitely looks different. It definitely looks evolved. I do not want to take any of that away from it. But the brand of defense that the Chicago Bulls have played, especially in this game, this is going to be a really good, fun team to watch. I really do think that. I think this is going to be a team that gets out in transition. It's going to be a team that, tries to, take advantage of the mismatches when they have it. Wasn't the best game from P. Will, right? I do want to talk about that. It was passive P again in this game, even though he led the starters in box plus minus. But, the defense specifically in this game, and I tell you what, I'm not trying to cause any controversy, but when Torrey Craig came out there after they decided to sit P. Will down, it was noticeably better out there. And so I'm a guy who I want to see P. Will start. So I'm not saying anything like that, but Torrey Craig, if P. Will is going to be passive P, he will be passed up in that starting lineup by Torrey Craig. And Torrey Craig showing how he can he just understands how to get his and impact the game in this as well. But the brand of defense, the ball movement's really good. We talked about the Chicago Bulls not shooting the ball well at all in that first quarter. They end up shooting the ball 45% overall from the field. The Denver Nuggets that were over 60% in the first half ended up shooting the ball 50%. But again, it's kind of misleading because we know in the double overtimes and the fourth quarter, you didn't see any of the starters, any of the main role players really out there very much. So, you can only take away what you can take away with that. Alex Caruso going 4 of 6 from three-point range. They talked a lot about in the commentary how he's really trying to be more aggressive offensively this year, not trying to pass the ball as much. Not expecting him to go this type of percentage at all from three all season, but if he can hit that three ball consistently, that's going to be big for the Bulls as well. DeMar DeRozan with 19 points, Zach with 17 points, Nikola Vucevic with 10. It is what it is. Take from that what you will. But the ball movement out there looked really good. We talked about the Bulls having 11 turnovers in just the first half. They finished with 21 turnovers, so they didn't really improve that. 56 rebounds from the Chicago Bulls today, 26 of those being offensive. Now, I would like to see how many of those came before, that garbage time or whatever, but still they offensively rebounded the ball really well, even in that first half and third quarter. So a lot of positive, like I said, that could be taken away from this game. I really like the style of play. I like the way that the ball moved around out there as well. I love the way that Zach LaVine was aggressive early in this game as well. DeMar kind of found his rhythm as the game went on. Vooch played a much better third quarter than what he did in the first half. But then the young guys, right? You want to talk about the young guys in this game, like Julian Phillips and Dalen Terry really being a big part of the Chicago Bulls coming back from being down, forcing overtime, and then winning in overtime. Dalen, goes 3 of 9, 7 points, but he also chips in 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Julian Phillips in this game goes 2 of 4, but he chips in 2 rebounds, 1 assist, only 1 turnover, 8 points, but that really, it's not really going to be indicative on the stat sheet, right? He was somebody who you had to watch the game to understand how he just was always in the right position, kind of, especially in that after the first overtime. Julian Phillips playing a much better game in this one, at least in my opinion. We'll go to you guys in the comments here in a second. Carlik Jones hitting a big shot as well for the Bulls as they're trying to seal some things out in that, but overall, it was a fun game. This was just a fun basketball game. And the people in the United Center who got to watch it, they got to watch a hell of a show because this was just a fun game. You don't usually get games this fun where you're seeing the starters, right? And it's fun then. And then you seeing, the bench and role players and G League players come in, and it's still fun, right? No real Onulop Biddum in this is, at all, right? Which is, I don't know if what that says, right? They could have. Did they see enough from OB already, right? They want to keep him hidden or whatever. I don't know. But, again, a lot of positive to take away from this game, in my opinion, man. Let's see how you guys are feeling about it. Shay says, I'm sorry, but Julianne Phillips? We got a female playing on the team. Shout out to the NBA for being progressive. Has already surpassed Dalen Terry. I mean, he's a more complete player, right? Dalen Terry is really raw right now. He made some key plays down the stretch of this one, but it is what it is. Let's see what else we got. Trey says, shout out to the dude. Hey, shout out to you, brother. Glad to have you in here. Well, Trey, I don't mean to misgender anybody. Back-to-back posters, absolutely on that one. This was a fun one, man. Let's drop down some. Brazil Popular says, yo, that game was fire, bro. Hey, it was a fun game. I cannot deny it was a fun game. Sydney, our 10-player rotation played really well against the Nuggets' best players. Yeah, we played really, really well in this game. Like I said, tied. The fact that the game was even tied, when they were shooting like 60%, we were shooting like 38%, says a lot. We had 11 turnovers in that first half. We kept it tied, kept it close. And then we came out with it in the third quarter and just really executed really well on both sides of the ball. Damian says, what a solid game for the third stringers. This gives them a huge boost, and they needed this type of game. Oh, completely. And one thing that they did say in commentary that I thought about, like, these are the third string players. They're trying to fight for a spot on the NBA G League roster, whatever it is. This really gave them an opportunity to showcase, right? And a lot of them made some big plays over the course of that. Mr. Haize, hope you had an awesome summer. Also, let's go. I'm ready for this season. See Red. I'm right there with you, bro. Really excited for this season. Dalen grew up in overtime. He did. Dalen, it started coming, and this is why I say things like, you need to find a way to work those players into your rotation. Am I expecting Dalen to get even 5-8 minutes every single game? No, but you want to get him that game time because just like Dalen over the course of this game, really started settling down, really started understanding what he needed to do, really started building his confidence after, he would make a player, defensive player, a shot or whatever it is. You need that. You really do need that. Brazil also chips in defensive identity, ball movement, three-pointers, and offensive rebounds. Hey, that's everything that they talked about that they wanted to add to this team, and we're really seeing it in a meaningful way, even when the third string players are out there, right? Still keeping the ball movement, still getting up shots, getting up threes, right? Playing with a quicker pace. A little late to the party, but I'll be here throughout the season and then some. Well, Damon, glad to have you in here, brother. If this is your first time joining, man, we're glad to have you. Dalen Terry with some nice defense in overtime, few big buckets in second overtime, but I don't know if I'm too sold on him yet. But I do hope he has like a Marcus Smart role with heart and defense over the offense. Well, that's not coming for him this season. I don't expect it, but he got to work himself up, right? He came in so young, so raw that it's probably going to be like it's probably going to be another season before we see Dalen Terry consistently getting minutes on the team, if even then, right? But you want to see him start worked in there sometimes, right? Especially if it's garbage time or anything else, get him in there, get him those reps, just like you saw his confidence start building over the course of this game. That's what you want over the season for your young player that you're invested in enough to that you drafted him with the 18th overall pick. Bulls for Life says Billy not playing Biddum. Fuck my brain up. It's like his head is full of effing TV stack. Well, no. Well, keep in mind, and this is always what I compare, kind of when you have a gym and you have a gym. The Portland Trailblazers did something very similar with Anthony Simons his first year. They knew they had a gym in him, but they kept him kind of hidden down in the G League, right? And I'm not excusing it because we all want to see OB more, right? I think we all want to see Batum more on this team. But I think when it comes down to it, if they are confident in what he's bringing and they know, like, hey, you're here to get up shots. You're here to adjust to the defensive game. You're here to learn that you need, while you could take players off the dribble in EuroLeague, it's going to be harder at the NBA level. We want you to work on those things. We want you to work with our player development staff because we know we're going to have to rely on you sometime next season. And, these other guys that are playing, they're fighting for a spot on that G League team. They know that they're invested in Ernolop, right? They know that they're invested in him. So I get the frustration that you have, but big picture, sometimes it's harder to see. And I think the big picture with OB is that they know what they have in him. They just have to cultivate it some before they're ready to throw him out there in the deep end to the NBA Sharks. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong on that, right? But that's kind of the way that I'm looking at it. Bulls didn't add much over the offseason, my ass. I like every addition so far. I've been saying the same thing, Cameron. Everybody's like, oh, well, yeah, you added 2 role players. You really think you're going to get that much better? Yeah, because that's what role players do, is they help boost up a team. That's the point of them, right? Let's see. BL Jet says Bulls definitely have to work on their 3-point defense. That was always been our Achilles heel, though, right? So I will say this: pick and roll defense looked better today. So that's always been the Bulls' Achilles heel as well. Damon, another one, says killed them in the boards. Their 3-point shooting kept them in the game until late. Some things need cleaning up, but nice effort and fought hard. Completely agree with you on that one. Joe the Blacksmith, one of the OGs in the chat, says Kobe looking like a most improved player award candidate. His driving kick is deadly. Listen, the Bulls have to win for that, right? But we know, right? Those are us that have actually watched the games rather than the box score. We know that Kobe's been steadily improving. And so, yeah, Kobe's going to have a big season, regardless of whatever his role is. I think Kobe's going to have a big season. They should have put Pat back in OT. Listen, that would have been a bit of an embarrassment to do that. But we saw Passive P again tonight. That's a real struggle. I really don't like seeing that. But yeah, let's see. Juan says Zach looks slippery on the basketball court. Well, Zach can get to where he wants to anytime he wants to. So, it is what it is. Billy must hate. Well, I kind of went into that. I kind of went into why I think that. I get the questions on OB, but I really do think they're keeping them under wraps. What's good, Haize? It's been a minute. I just graduated Navy boot camp today, so I'm looking forward to catching the live streams whenever I can. Good luck on the content, my boy. Shout out to you, Omar. Shout out to you for making it through boot camp, bro. That's no joke, man. Shout out to you and praise up to you and the fam, bro. Let's see what else we got. It seems like one of those old school Bulls teams where all of our role players take pride in their roles and play with tenacity. Listen, identity, right? That's one thing that this team absolutely needed to build in this offseason and with this team is build an identity, build a consistent level of play, build a standard. The Bulls seem like they're starting to do that. They seem like they're starting to do that. Let's hope that continues for the Chicago Bulls, man. Wanted to see more Justin Lewis. Well, again, much like with OB, I really do think that this team knows what they have in those guys. Like, keep in mind, OB, Justin Lewis, they're on 2-way contracts, meaning that the Bulls are invested in them, right? No Adama Sanago in this as well either, right? I think that, they know that they're making it. They wanted a chance to see if a player like Quentin Jackson is going to make their G League team, maybe replace Javon Freeman Liberty there, right? You want to see a guy like Carlik to see, is he worth keeping on the back end of your bench, right? So I think that kind of plays into some things. You want Dalen Terry to get reps and stuff like that. So that may be why. Again, this is me trying to add rationale with just, me thinking, again, is Billy Donovan or the Bulls always rational? Hell no. But, you never know with that one. Eric says, love the defensive intensity. Offense looks much better than last year. Finally, there is some player movement. Listen, player movement, ball movement. Move without the ball. That's what you need to do. That's absolutely what you need to do. Let's see what else. Kyle says, just joining, might have mentioned, but Kobe looks great. Phillips looks like he has some promise. Wish we saw Bidham get some minutes. Excited for this team to grow together this season. Completely agree with you, bro. Completely agree with you on that one. Archangel in the building says, felt better about Io today, better than how it felt last year anyway. Well, and that's something that I did not talk about and we do need to talk about. Is I said it I've been saying all offseason, for Ayo Dosunmu to get a consistent role on this team, he's gonna have to come in there, set the tone defensively. Like, he went after those offensive boards, right? Got 3 basically in a row, had 4 rebounds on the night, 3 assists, right? Didn't score the ball a huge hell of a lot, 3 for 6 from the field for 7 points, but he had a plus minus of +9, and he played some really good defense out there. That is what Ayo's going to have to be, that consummate energy guy for the Chicago Bulls team, for him to really crack it. Really is. Haize says, I can't wait to prove my friends wrong. Bulls making the playoffs. Listen, we got to keep seeing it continue, see how it goes, but I'm feeling that way as well. Mediocre Self says, I really like the moment where DeMar gave up a dunk to Zach. This season feels different, especially Zach. Just hope he stays healthy. Listen, Zach, the sky's the limit for Zach. If he can stay healthy, he can eliminate some of the bonehead things. But when Zach is aggressive, and you saw it at times tonight where Zach just went into that mode where it's like, no, I'm about to score. Stop me if you can. We need that Zach this season. Chicago Bulls Central is back. It's gonna be a great year. You and all your guys rock. I appreciate that, man. This network that we built is like, it's amazing, and actually we got a treat for you guys Sunday. The whole crew will be on the post game show on Sunday, so make sure you guys are tuned in for that as well. I know it's preseason, but we have the Denver starters gave the Denver Stars a series push, like the Suns. Yeah, we played with them. We definitely played with them. So, yeah, it's promising for the Chicago Bulls. But you know what's funny? I bet you the same Bulls fans that didn't actually watch the game, right? That didn't watch the game in the first preseason game, came in there like, what do you mean we lost to a Bucks team without Dame, Chris Middleton, and Giannis? What are you taking positive from it? Those same guys who didn't actually watch the game, they didn't know that the game was mainly at the end, finished there, like nobody of note for the Chicago Bulls playing. Those same guys are going to come in here and be like, oh, we're getting excited. We beat the Denver Nuggets in preseason. It means nothing. It's just, it's all those naysayers. You got to,
Whiny Bulls fans to me sound like this. And it's like, oh my God, guys, listen. Oh, you guys are excited about this team? We added no one. Did you see the Bucks? They traded for Dame. The Celtics got Drew Holiday. We didn't do anything. We got Javon Carter and Torrey Craig. What are you guys excited about? Why, as Bulls fans, do we get excited? We didn't get any stars. We should have signed LeBron James.
Y'all need to shut the fuck up. Like, just shut the fuck up. That's what I got to say to whiny Bulls fans. Anyway, just got here. It was a game today. AC was a monster today. Drummond was a dog on the boards, but his offense was a struggle. I'm sure it'll be better. Kobe also was impressive on both ends. Listen, you can hope that Drummond's offense is going to get better, but that's just Drummond. That's what you got to take with him. He needs to make better decisions, as somebody said in the halftime hangout, of passing out of things, but other than that, it kind of is what it is. Haize, do you wear your Bulls gear after these videos, or is it just for content? Oh, bro, you think I got this much Bulls gear and I don't wear it in real life? You think I'm out here making this funny money? What do you think I'm doing? You think I dress like this just for content? I dressed like this before I even had a podcast, right? That's what makes it so amazing. I've always had a bunch of my socks gear. I don't even have a socks podcast. My White Sox gear, I can probably go about 50 days with just wearing White Sox shit, and I don't even have a White Sox podcast. Like, so no, this is me. I'm a Chicago sports. I rep my teams all day, every day. Like, that's just it. But yeah. What we seen, everybody is playing with more urgency. The offense looks way better. The offense has definitely improved. Was on the Windy City Breeze discussing who was better defensively, Kawhi or Alonzo. What's your opinion? I mean, listen, prime Kawhi was different, but we never got to see a prime Lonzo, right? But prime Kawhi was different. We're talking about somebody who can guard all 5 positions. Not to say that Lonzo, I saw Lonzo get switched on freaking Jokic that year before he got hurt, and I was like, oh, he's about to get cooked. Oh no, he didn't get cooked. So, I think they're very different defenders, right? Lonzo is a very disruptive defender, whereas Kawhi is more of a shutdown defender. Like, he smothers you out. So, I mean, you can pick your poison, really. The real Don P says some people made some good points about Jalen starting over P. Will, letting him cook with the second unit. No, that's not. There's no point in letting Jalen start. There's no point to be made in that. Julian Phillips is not ready for that. at all. Now you can say start Torrey Craig, but even what everybody likes to go to, not this ain't towards you, Don P, but everybody likes to go to that. Oh, put P. Will on the second unit. He can be the first option off the second unit. He can cook. He can do. If P. Will's mentality doesn't change, you can put him on the fourth unit. He can play against bums on the damn from the big three. Until his mentality changes, there's no place that you can put P. Will that's all of a sudden going to unlock something in P. Will that we haven't seen yet. What needs to be unlocked, it's not about a position, it's not about a spot, it's not about starting and coming off the bench, it's about P. Will's mentality. Until he unlocks that mentality, it don't matter where you put P. Will at. You can put P. Will guarding Reggie's mama, and now she too wide open for that. But it doesn't matter where you put P. Will. Nothing's going to change until that mentality change. It doesn't matter if he starts or anything until his mentality changes. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. R. Hall, thank you for the super chat and supporting the channel, my brother. Says salute to you, Haize. Salute to you and thank you, bro. Thank you. J. Phil looking good out there. A ferocious athlete and nice jumper. Yeah, I mean, listen, his jumper is definitely for sure. Haize, LOL, you think I'm funny? Like funny how? Like a clown? You stupid, bro. Oh, man. Let's see. DeMar with 4 steals, him putting more focus on 3 and D is a game changer for this team. Dude's mugging people out there. Great to see you again, Haize. Listen, we got to see if he's going to stay consistent. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people do a lot of crazy things in preseason. We got to see that become consistent. Until we do that, it looks good, it looks flawless, and it looks solid. But we need to see that happen once the damn lights are on, right? Hot take: give me Julian Phillips in the starting lineup and let P. Will try to cook with the second unit. Okay. Haize, what do you think the Bulls could learn from Denver? Listen, I've talked about this so much. I got a whole video on this. Like, they just how to spread the ball around, right? How to use their big man, I think. So, what do you think about Carter in this game? Listen, Javon Carter is going to go about his work the way that he needs to go about his work, right? Javon Carter, I did say it right this time. Look, I got myself second guessing myself. I've been calling him Jalen Carter for so long. Javon Carter is solid. Javon Carter is going to be a baller for this team. That's it. That's just it. He's going to get what needs to get done. Reginald Short. If P. Will's wait, I skipped it. It refreshed on me. I'll get to yours, Edwin. If P. Will's mentality doesn't change, do what contract offer you offer him, if at all. Oh, he's getting P. Will's getting a second contract with the Chicago Bulls. There's no doubt about that, right? I don't think that he's getting that max, though, of $20 million is the max that he can be offered. P. Will's probably going to get between 12 and 15. That's probably what he's going to get. And the promise and the youth around him is going to be a big portion of that as well. Will he better get his shit together, or Phillips is going to steal his minutes, bro, for real? Listen, I tell you this right now. There's no threat of Julian Phillips stealing Patrick Williams' minutes this season. I tell you that right now. There's zero. Julian Phillips cooked. Don't get me wrong. He looked good, but let's be clear here. He was playing against third stringers out there, right? He was playing against third stringers. We get so caught up sometimes in narratives and just trying to no. Julian Phillips is not ready to start at the NBA level. He's not. Well, I'm hoping Julian's play pushes his play a bit harder. Julian's D definitely look like it's primetime ready, no cap. Offensively, I can agree he ain't ready. Yeah, I mean, and that's fine, right? He was a second-round pick. And he's getting back to his high school shot, which is don't let my words make you think that I'm down on Julian Phillips as a player long term. I'm not, right? Next season, that's where it can start getting interesting. I do think that he's going to take some time to acclimate, take some time to do some things, but I do think the Bulls got a heck of a player in Julian Phillips in that second round. I really do. Bruh's one game chill. Last game, people were wild. Pat is aggressive now. Yeah, I mean, see, and that's the thing, right? It's going to be up and down. When you're the fourth option on the team and you're already a player that hasn't played with the best confidence, it's not going to be a light switch where all of a sudden it turns on and you just go. It's going to be some up and downs, right? Let's see how it goes over preseason. Let's have 4-5 games to really evaluate it to see, because even the best players have up and down games, right? P. Will's trying to find himself. I hope that we get more aggressive P. Will than not. That's a step in the right direction for P. Will, but it's gonna take some growth from him. It's Seaway's World says, I remember you saying Jay Carter would be a fan favorite by the end. I could tell today already at the game that folks already love him. Side note, Io getting his confidence back. Hey, this is a game that it did look like Io's getting that confidence back. Ricky in the building says, I just got on to see the people anointing Phillips the starter for playing against third stringers. Hey, bro, you already know. You already know how it goes, especially with Bulls fans, bro. They be so ready to switch one way or another. Who will get more minutes on the floor? Terry Phillips or listen, Bitsum is a two-way contract player. You're not seeing him a lot during the regular season. They're trying to bring him along, preparing for the NBA game. I think we're going to see him a lot next year. Do not be surprised if you don't see a lot of Bitsum this season. But again, I'll be doing the once a week G League only videos where I'll be reviewing the full week of G League games, and I'll be covering them heavily there. But you're not going to see him a lot. Terry and Phillips, none of them are going to see the floor consistently. So, if I had to guess right now, I'd probably say Julian, but even then, I'm probably saying averaging probably like 8 minutes over, and that's not playing every game. It's probably playing once every 5 games, if that, but that's it. Right, okay, keep thinking that, my guy. We'll see. What part are you saying? What are you saying that to, Edwin? Kobe handles look nicer this year. Impressive. Grew a lot last year too. Yeah, Kobe's been on the steady trajectory, right? And that's why sometimes with like basketball, I know we as fans we think first year the blueprint, second year add to that a little bit, third year boom. By the third year, people are going to be ready to go. And while that does happen for a lot of players, it's not linear like that for everyone, right? So yeah, Kobe's heading into this is his 4th year now. Yeah, if this is Kobe's 4th, is this Kobe's 5th year? Is this Kobe's 5th year in the NBA? Am I smoking rock on that one? Yes, this is Kobe White's 5th year in the NBA. Wow, time is flying. But yeah, I mean, he's still 23 years old. Kobe got plenty of time ahead of him to turn into the player that he's going to turn into. So, when's the next game, against who and what, and when? And what do you want to see? And we'll have time for that. Just listen, I drop daily content. You're going to have time for that. Who do you think gets Carlick's spot if he gets cut? Oh, man, I really don't know, bro. Like, I would like to say that maybe Bitim, but, like, I don't know if they're going to cut Carlick. I just really don't know if they are. If anyone, I'd like to see Javonte Green brought back, right? But, you know, like I said, we may not be hearing some stuff that we want to hear from him on that one. It's crazy people were shitting on us with that Carter and Craig were mediocre moves. I hope now that seeing them on the court, how much of an impact they're making on this team and more of a threat. Listen, nobody's going to turn around on them unless the Bulls are like 10 games above 500 by the trade deadline, right? Man, get up out of here with that bullshit. What? If nothing else, we know for sure Batum is mentally tough. Can't play for a team called the Fruity Extras without developing mental toughness. That's hilarious. When talking about team defense on Windy City Breeze, why does everybody keep going? Just say what you got to say. You ain't got to keep referencing the Windy City Breeze in here. Was there a better defensive duo than Zoe Caruso in Bulls history, not named Jordan Pippen? Yeah. Taj Gibson and Joakim Noah. Way better defensive duo than Zoe and Caruso. Hey, Haize, you're my guy, but bro, this guy moves his feet so well, Phillips. I hear you, and you may be right, but this kid is special. You're reacting to him playing against third-string players, Edwin. Like, real talk. Let's stop trying to anoint people after a preseason game in which we had to go into double overtime again with G League and third-string NBA players fighting for spots on G League rosters. Let's just calm down a little bit on that one, my brother. I was worried about Dalen Terry. He looked like he was uncomfortable and struggling to shoot. Maybe some more G League time will help him. Well, we do have a whole player development staff now. So if they're doing their job and worth their shit, we'll be seeing that. We are here. Had to film a video real quick. Glad we pulled it out. That's funny. What's going on? Let's talk Bulls. Let's see. Edwin again says Kobe looked good for a second game around. Zach and DeMar and Russo blowed my mind tonight. I think that may be a pause there, brother. I think you may have to respect the pause on that one, my guy. Just messing with you, Edwin. Haize, do you see improvement in our big three? Oh, for sure. I see improvement in just the way that they are actually facilitating for role players, but the role players also have to step up, right? So we're seeing the combination between the two. It's crazy that these people are constantly trying to announce someone for playing double overtime in a preseason game against their string players. Completely agree with you on that one, Simba. A lot of Bulls fans, Bulks fans, first of all, hey, listen, if you like bulky man, Tony, bro, I am not one to judge, bro, but I don't know if you're gonna find him in this chat, bro. Dwight Howard's over in China. I'm sure he got you, bro. You know he that was the Gooch. Like that may have been who the Gooch actually was. We found Dwight Howard's burner. Looking at the reserves, what do you think? What do you think the starting five in the G League will look like? I don't know yet. It's not going to be just these players, right? There are going to be some returning that aren't necessarily on the Bulls roster right now. I can't really say. I mean, you would like to think that OB and Adama are definitely going to get that start there. Maybe even Justin Lewis because the Bulls are invested in them. But I really can't say right now. We'll get to that when we start the G League review episodes. I like how AK drafting long athletic players. I think those guys have the highest ceiling already, gifted just skill and determination to be great. Well, I mean, listen, AK is going the way that he's drafted lately, right? Is he's going very high upside, raw players that he believes in, right? And the thing is that even if 1 to 2 of those guys really hit and can get to close to star level, it'll be solid, right? But even if they don't, he's added versatile players that can play multiple positions that really can fit on any type of lineup or roster in the NBA. The question is just how are they going to develop to be able to be those consistent role players? That's the biggest question that we have right there. Booking a fight now. Shout out to Tony, man. Lil Famo says, Haize, I turned the game off at halftime. I just watched the highlights. I'm hurt. Jalen dunking on people. Why do you always do? Famo, you are more than anybody I know. First of all, you admit it. Which I actually give you credit for admitting. But second to that, like you turn off games, bro. Stop giving up on games, fam. What you doing, man? What you doing, bro? Kyle talking to him. Phillips has some promise, but some of these people got to chill. Give him a couple of years, and he can maybe get to where he's in the regular rotation. Definitely has some upside. Yeah, definitely has tons of upside. This double OT game was good NBA experience for the players who may never experience that. Yeah, I mean, it's good for the players that are trying to crack G League rotations, right? That's something that's absolutely happening. Do you see Io finding a way to get on the court? Yeah, I mean, if he keeps playing like this, you got to play him, right? That was the type of player. Io's play today was the type of play that gets you, that you look at a player and you be like, hey, your shot ain't falling, but listen, we know you're going to go out there and make some plays. Go out there and get your 15, right? Go out there and get your 15 minutes. So we'll see. Hello, this is why Lil Famo don't have a wrench. She be falling asleep on the job. That's hilarious. That's funny. Maybe it's just pure joy that the season has started, but I'm feeling good about this team. Don't care if it's blind optimism. Like, hey, it is what it is. Julian Strawther is special. Was the 29th pick for the Nuggets. I mean, listen, again, Let's be clear about the competition that he's up against, right? But Julian Strawther is somebody, when I was doing my my player profiles for the draft candidates for the Bulls, he is somebody that I wouldn't have minded the Bulls to try to get in there and get. So it is what it is. Y'all ask worse questions than the Bears media. That is hilarious. That is funny. That's funny. But all right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's a late one. Usually I try to go about 45 minutes to an hour, but listen, it's a preseason game. They went into double OT. People are saying that Julian Phillips needs to start over P. Will. I think everybody's tired. I think everybody's been, doing whatever their drug of choice is, and that's fine. I don't judge you. Whatever you got to do, right? It is what it is. The Gooch didn't show up. We got Knicks Fan TV in the building. Shout out to Knicks Fan TV. It says, peace, Haize, keep killing them. What do you think the Bulls' identity would be this year? Thoughts on my Long Island guy, Billy D, job security with this team. Bulls' identity, I think this year is going to be ball movement, player movement on offense, being a versatile team on offense, being a team that really digs in defensively and that has the type of player that really can kick up that defensive intensity. They're going to get into the transition. They're going to be a faster team. I think this is going to be a team that tries to kill you by not exactly knowing where it's coming from, especially with moving Kobe White into that starting lineup. I think they're going to try to be that team that you just don't know. If you do 0 on Zach or DeMar, Vooch, Kobe can go off on you. If they can get P. Will to be consistently aggressive, him too. But if you don't, you bring in Torrey Craig to that starting lineup. I think this is going to be a team that's just, they fight. They actually compete this year. And because of that, they're going to win some of those closer games. Now, as far as Billy D's job security, my brother, Billy D is not going anywhere. Once Billy Donovan said that he talks to the Bulls owner every single day, that let me know he ain't going nowhere. Keep in mind, Billy Donovan signed a contract extension last year that we still don't know the years. We still don't know the amount. We don't know nothing about. Billy ain't going anywhere. He's not going anywhere, man. But I appreciate Knicks Fan TV for sliding through, bro. Got to get you on the show sometime during the season, man. But that is my time for today, guys, man. I will be back for the post-game shows all throughout the week, man. Make sure you guys are locked in. You guys know I'm the only Chicago Bulls page that's daily. We actually drop Monday through Sunday. We don't take a day off, so make sure you guys stay tuned in. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. But if you're not following the channel, make sure you do so at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for our mailbag episodes that go down on Saturdays and Sundays, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'll see you guys, man. Go Bulls, see red. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.